Hey my lovelies, it's Mitch here. I'm just coming on to do April's Tarot Scope guidance reading. So welcome to the magic of April time. Don't know if you're feeling it, but I feel like there's a starting point of a slight shift, a starting point of a slight lift in energy, which I think we really need, because 2025 has been a rough old roller coaster ride so far. It feels like it's been hang on tight and whoa, away we go sort of thing. So fingers crossed some lighter energy is going to start to come in. So as ever, I'm going to do the tarot scope for April time. So we'll do our opportunities for April, any things that could be a bit blocked or things to be watching out for, and then a conclusion of what kind of life lessons and April is going to represent. And then we'll follow through with a witch's rune reading. So just to let you know, the deck that I'm working with for doing the guidance reads for this year is the Wandering Star Tarot, which is a really cool deck by Kat Pierce. So let's have a little look at this and see where the energies are taking us. So these are the cards. I'm going to give them a knock. I'm going to give them a shuffle. So let's just see what our opportunities are going to be for April time. Just asking these to be shown for the highest of good. Okay. And then any obstacles or things to be aware of. Okay, and then an overall theme of conclusion. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So what we'll do then, let's just put these to one side for a sec. So we're going to go into then our opportunities for April time. So we have the King of Swords coming in. Now it just says around the side here, ambition, power, influence. To me, King of Swords is a time to sort of sit firmly on your throne, and it's a time to actually step up. It's a time to rise. It is a time to invest in yourself. It's a time to sort of make the choices, make the decisions, be accountable for the things that need attention and needs adjustment. And the sword represents to me a bit of a win, a bit of a victory. There is also that personal kind of protection. So it might be that through the month of April time, a few things have to be cut off. They might have to be severed, or they may just have to be understood in terms of things being able to move forward a bit more easily. Like I've had a bit of a personal win, a bit of a personal breakthrough today. I'm not going to go too into it, but just say it involves HR revenue, the old tax people, and it's taken me quite a long time to be able to get hold of somebody, and I've finally been able to get hold of somebody and sort some stuff out, which has been a little bit ongoing. So it's quite good. It's like it is sorting stuff, it's kind of creating a fix. And it's being brave enough to own these things. Again, with house and home, I've had to sort of do some contract stuff today and some bits and pieces, and again it's being brave enough to honor that stuff, to be aware of that, to sign those contracts, just to get those last bits in place. So the King of Swords is almost taking back control, taking action, doing the things that need to be done, like addressing the things that need to be done. You know, that feels like it's coming in quite strong, but there is going to be a success to be had, and it might feel like slow stepping stones. It might not be immediate, but it's the recovery of stuff. And this is about you sort of sitting on your throne, placing the crown upon your head, being fabulous. And it says about power and influence, and it's just, again, making the decisions, being part of the things that need to be addressed, and taking them on and doing them and owning them. It's almost like not fearing, you know, the responsibility. It's starting to own the responsibility of stuff a little bit here. Now then, as we're moving into any sort of problem areas or any blockages, we are going into the Hanged Man. I'm not surprised to see this, because this keeps seeming to be making a bit of an approval, or a bit of a sort of a showing up of energy recently. So the Hanged Man, sometimes it just says around the side here, waiting, rebirth, sacrifice, and reflection. Usually when the Hangman shows, we're feeling a bit restricted, we're feeling a bit stuck, we're in that sort of rock and hard place. Head and heart energy sometimes, you know, the head knows what it wants, also the heart knows what it wants, but the head is maybe testing us or toying with us a little bit. And sometimes it can just be like, we know how we want life to be long term, but then we see the reality of where we're currently finding ourselves, and maybe the two are not flowing in the way that we would ideally like. So it causes this imposter syndrome. It causes us to feel a bit stuck, a bit restless. And I always say to people with this card, keep perspective. So turn this card upside down. So if things are feeling a little bit weird, notice that the noose is around the foot. It's not around the neck. That's quite important, okay? So we don't have to sacrifice ourselves to the same detriment that maybe we feel like we are. And by seeing the tree this way up, you're staying grounded. It's almost like she's taking a rest and a bit of a breather on the branch. And we can sort of see the tree this way as the roots going back into Mother Earth. It's a time to stay centered. It's a time to stay grounded. It's a time to almost stay in our power. That isn't always easy when we're being met with things which are very challenging and are very sort of overwhelming, but it's not kind of sacrificing the essence of you. And it is hard to not do that, but it's like, no, there's a bigger picture. There's something bigger happening, going on a collective scale. But we're all feeling, I think, at times, this, I don't want to call it imprisonment, but just this restrictive energy. I was talking to a friend earlier about this time last year. We were seeing shows and everything, and there's not any additional kind of revenue in the pot at the moment to do that stuff, which is really frustrating, you know. And yeah, sometimes sacrifices have to be made, and this feels a little bit of a time for that for some of us at the moment. But I think there is going to be a gear shift. So as we're kind of moving forward, we're going into like kind of the conclusion for sort of April time, and we're going into the Hermit card. So the Hermit is just encouraging us to sort of stop and pause. And it just says around the side here, healing, solitude, and inner work. And it may be a time, like I say, where we have to really start to own certain aspects of our world. If we've been avoiding certain things, maybe those things now need to be addressed, or they need to come up to the surface, and they need to really be understood, and they need to really be managed in order to sort of move forward. But what I love with the Hermit card, even if you have to have that time of solitude, even if you have to pull back a bit from life, she carries like the staff, she carries the lantern. So when you're feeling ready, when you're feeling like you're, you know, able to be part of the world again, you can actually kind of carry that lantern, and it will light the path, it will light the way. I always feel like with the Hermit card, there's a temporary pause, there's a temporary rest, and sometimes that's being done for your own sort of self-care, your own self-love. Like it says about the healing, sometimes we just have to acknowledge stuff. Sometimes as well, you might be in a bit of a paused state because other things are happening externally around, and that needs to all kick in. Like I'm definitely going to be having some hermit time between you know, April, because I'm about to move house. So I will be kind of closing down my business temporarily just while I move house and home. And then when I've set up in a new space and a new base, I'll be able to offer my services once more. So I'm going to go into this hermit mode, definitely. So I can see this in a big way. And it may be that there are other people around that are just needing to sort of pull back or disconnect or temporarily switch off. And it's okay to have that, you know. This isn't anything sort of dark or nasty or a failing. It's just sometimes giving yourself that care, that love, that nurturing to go within. Also, as I'm holding this card, I feel like Spirit is saying keep some of your plans or your actions close to your own sacred temple. And when they say sacred temple, for me, that's like inner heart. So don't be too available with your ideas. Don't share what you're getting up to. And sometimes just launch it and kind of put things out there and be proud of what's being created. But you don't have to tell everybody too much about what's going on. So maybe if some of you are oversharing a little bit, just pull that energy back into sacred heart. And you know the reasons why things are happening the way they are. You know the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. And that's enough, isn't it, really? That is enough. So let's conclude our April with a cheeky witch's rune and just see if there's anything else that we need to become aware of or we need to know about. Let's just see if there's any further energies at play. This is nice. The sun. The sun is about renewal. It's about kind of rebirth. And it says in, I think it was the first card, one or the second card, one of the cards, it said rebirth. Oh yeah, it was the Hangman. It said about the rebirth. So that's kind of being validated with the sun. The sun is literally wanting to breathe new light into your world. What I love with the sun rune, to me, it represents light at the end of a dark tunnel. So if things have been very compromised, if things have felt quite heavy, we've got the awakened state of obviously spring and, you know, the light starting to come back into the physical world. But I also feel like this is energetic light coming back into your life. It's kind of a win. It's a success after a dark time. It's success after battles or hurdles or times of distress. And, you know, what's great with the sun is it's breathing new life into everything. So the sun is like able to sort of, it's like a battery pack. You know, nothing in this world can exist without the quality of the sun. Plants, animals, humans, everything needs sunlight in order to live. It creates that breath of life energy. So to me, April is going to start to give us that oxygen back. It's going to start to give us that breath of life. Almost Spirit is saying to me, it's like an inhaler, and if we've been struggling to breathe, we can puff on the inhaler and start to feel like we're clearing in our throat, in our voice, and just like our world is starting to clear if it's been murky, if it's been dark. So I actually think the sun is going to be really important, really positive. It also might be that we have some physical sun. We might get some good weather, which is always a bonus, because that does make us feel better in sort of self, better in mind. If it's a good day, it all impacts. So that's quite exciting, actually. I'm pleased to see this rune here. So April's going to be an interesting one. So we'll just ride the wave as we need to. So just to recap, stay in your power. Take on the commitments, take on the responsibilities of what you need to do, but stay in your power. Remember, you know why you're doing what you're doing. The sword is a win and it's a victory, but it's also a severing from anything that no longer serves. Don't sweat it if you have moments of vulnerability or if you get a little bit overwhelmed. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. The world is a work in progress. We're always a work in progress. But don't sort of sacrifice, don't take away the energy of where you find yourself, even if it's not where you want to be. You know, you're still winning. Showing up is a massive win, even if we don't have everything in place as our mind would like us to have. You are still winning, okay? And take that time for self. Have those nana naps, have that meditation, sort of chill with a music or an album that, you know, you love, that you resonate with. Have that meditation time. Have that time where you don't see people if you need to be still. Just gather your bearings, but when you're ready to sort of be part of something a bit more, the Hermit can sort of indice that as well. So, and then with the sun, keep shining bright. It is the theme, isn't it? Keep shining bright, keep working from that heart space. So an interesting set. I'm going to leave them with you, and I hope that this April's tarot scope resonates. Just to say a couple of things, obviously I am going to be on the move, so I will still be offering the voice recorded online readings, but I will be closing down the Zoom reads for a little bit, just while I kind of relocate and get my bearings and get new internet set up and everything else. So I will be quoting any Zoom sessions to be done for the end of the month, just so I've got that time to sort of pack and unpack and everything else. So just bear with where reference that's concerned. What else do I want to let you know about? The Spirit Magic Tour. Some exciting dates coming up. Bear with me, I'm going to cough. Sorry about that. Let's have a quick swig of drink. Okay, so the 6th of April, this coming Sunday, it's the big one. I'm down in Taunton at the Waterside Country Barn. It's going to be a beautiful night of mediumship. We have about 40 tickets left now, so if you want to come along, there's still time to get involved. It's over half sold out, which is great, but it would be lovely to see you in Taunton. It will be the only Taunton show that I'm doing this year, so if you want to come to see me in Taunton, grab a last minute ticket, and it will be great to see you this coming Sunday. We also have happening on the 3rd of May, Wincanton. I'm pleased to say that we have sold enough tickets for that show to go ahead. It's still quite an intimate, small audience, so obviously some more tickets to sell would be amazing, but we do now have enough tickets sold where an audience is there. So that's really good. That's really good. We also have on Monday the 28th, I will be teaming up with the fabulous Melissa Staton, and we are doing a Zoom demonstration night of mediumship in honor of Papyrus. So if you want to kind of check that out or be involved, drop Mel a message and she can get you guys booked in. And the final thing, couple of cheeky dates for in-person one-to-one reads. I will be over at Colour and Crystals in Trowbridge on Friday the 18th of April, so you can see me there at Colour and Crystals if you want an in-person reading. And I will also be on Saturday the 19th of April down in Carpe Nochem in Frome, so you'll be able to see me there for an in-person reading. And also Saturday the 26th of April, you can catch me over at Heartsong Gems in Hungerford, and I will also be doing in-person reads. So there's a few ways you can still support, you can still get involved, even if you can't see me on Zoom or whatever else. You can see me on Zoom, it's just that I'm tweaking a few things. So have a beautiful April time, look after yourselves, and I will catch up with some of you lovelies very soon. Take care, love and blessings. Bye for now.